A couple of weeks back, I got the chance to show you guys some gameplay of the brand new Battlefield 1 Turning Tides DLC. And in the last couple of days, a list has been released of the new specialisations that will also be coming with that DLC. And to my eyes, not all of them make for great reading. We're going to discuss these today because I think there's a lot of change going on about the Battlefield experience. And today, this video is sponsored by Discord, which is a free-to-use voice-over IP system, and I've now set up my own server, which you can join. I'll be hanging out there so that you can come and chat with me, you can ask me some questions, there'll be audio rooms for games like Battlefield, PUBG and Fortnite, and there'll be some looking for groups so that you can find new people to play with, and maybe you can make some long-term gaming friends. Head down into the description, click the link that I've listed there, join yourself into my server, and hopefully we can get some good conversations going. Let's start off with the Scout class. We have two specialisations being added to the CTE for testing. The first one is called Ripple, and the second is Deft Recon. Ripple, when equipped, will reveal nearby enemies when you kill an enemy with a headshot, and Deft Recon will periodically reveal nearby enemies on the minimap. So both of these new specialisations will affect how your minimap works and who appears on them. And both of them are getting an instant red flag from me. Ripple negatively affects nearby players to somebody who just died from a headshot, even if they aren't visible to the person who just landed the headshot. The person who just landed that kill by hitting an enemy in the head, they get extra information on their minimap. The person standing right next to the person who just died is negatively impacted because they're now appearing on someone's minimap, even though they haven't done anything. Is it fair that someone out of sight potentially, behind cover, not even making a sound, not moving, is suddenly then lit up on the minimap by a perk that is beyond their control? No, I don't think that's fair at all. Deft Recon almost does the same thing, making a scout player who has Deft Recon equipped become a walking spotting flare, lighting up the minimap with nearby enemies every time the spotter pings, because it's a periodic change. Again, I don't feel like this is a fair perk to subject onto players who've not done anything to deserve appearing on the minimap as a target. Now, if the scout uses their spotting flare, then, well, that's fair enough, because that thing's built into the game, just as it has in previous games in different forms, like the tugs and the motion balls from previous Battlefield games, and they spot people in a certain area. But to give that power to a soldier directly, who can move around as they please, and the soldier no less, that is likely the most popular class in the entirety of Battlefield 1, to me is just silly. There is no skill involved to spot players via this passive ability. Both of these new scout specialisations, they reduce team play directly, and they reduce the skill ceiling of Battlefield 1 overall. Spotting is a big part of all Battlefield games, and spotting people really can help your team. Now, with these two specialisations, as a scout, if you have them equipped, you won't need to spot as much, as it makes your job of locating people just far too easy. Now, if I was in control here, I'd eliminate both of these new additions, I'd remove them from the game completely, and I'd just chalk them off as a bad mistake. If these make it into the game, the minimap is going to be lit up like a Christmas tree with enemies all the time, and that essentially reverts Battlefield 1 back to the Battlefield 4 days where you could spend most of your time just looking at the minimap to find out where enemies were, and not using your eyes to spot players on the screen in the HUD in front of you. Both of these specialisations just feel like somebody didn't think about the consequences when they pitched them. Two more specialisations that I'd like to throw into the limelight for an absolute grilling. We have one for the Medic class and one for the Support class. The one for the Medic is called Medic's Aura, and for the Support class we have Mobile Arsenal. Medic's Aura enables a medic to not have to place down a medkit in order to heal people. They just need to stand close to the medic who's got a medkit equipped as a gadget on their body. Mobile Arsenal does the same thing for support players, but this time it does it for ammo. If you equip this specialisation, you don't need to place down an ammo crate in order to resupply players, they just need to stand near you. Now, as an extension to this, a further change has been made to Battlefield 1. DICE has now increased the radius of the ammo crate and the medical crate to 7 meters for their area of effect. And that means you don't need to stand as close to either of the crates to pick up ammo or heal up. And this affects Medic's Aura and Mobile Arsenal because they work off the ammo crate and the med kit, which means you wouldn't need to stand close to a medic or a support player now to even get the health or the ammo that you need. Now, to put it lightly, I feel that these are again bad moves, taking away team play elements and essentially just automating them. Part of playing as a medic or a support soldier is that you're supposed to place down these items to help other players, but what these specializations do is remove that action completely, and it adds it to a growing list of background actions that can happen without a player needing to do anything at all. This will lower team play in Battlefield 1 to an even lower level than what it already is. Sure, it's always annoying to not get ammo from a support player because they won't drop a crate, but do we really want a Battlefield game where automation takes front and center and removes that team play interaction that's been part of the franchise for, well, as long as I can remember? I'd be happier, at least, with the Battlefield Hardline solution where ammo or health could be taken from a medic or a support player. Not just given, but taken, meaning you'd still have to seek out the right class and actively push buttons to get what you wanted. Or even place medic kits and ammo kits down on the ground around conquest flags or rush MCOMs so that players could go and get what they needed without having to automate the process. These two new specializations, Medic's Aura and Mobile Arsenal, they just feel extremely cheap, and in my opinion, it will further casualize the gameplay in Battlefield 1 without a doubt. Another specialization that's caught my attention is called Convoy, and this is one of 4 new ones for the pilot and tanker classes, and that will be a first. They haven't had any so far. Convoy is for the tanker, and it enables somebody, get this, who is self-repairing their vehicle, i.e. sitting in the driver's seat and repairing up after a tank fight or something, to chain their self-repair to other vehicles nearby, repairing them too. So as if the self-repair wasn't casual enough, sitting in relative safety in your armoured metal tank, this specialisation called Convoy will then spread that repair to other vehicles nearby. You don't need to get out of your tank and repair somebody else, not that you would ever do that in Battlefield 1, but now you will actively repair other people by literally sitting there and holding one button on your controller or keyboard. I mean, really? You remove the engineer class from Battlefield 1 DICE, and then you dumb down the effectiveness of the repair tool already. You gave it to the support class, but most people don't use it. And now you want to give more power to the thing that replaced probably the best team play class in the Battlefield franchise. It just feels like when these specializations were conceptualized that there was literally zero thought put into how players might actually react to these things. Because I can guarantee you I'm not the only one shocked by these kind of bold moves that DICE is making here. It just feels like to me that some of these decisions are a little bit disconnected from what, in my opinion, the community really wants to see from the game. Now, to their credit, DICE has added some better specializations, like Reciprocity for the medic, and this gives you health back when you heal someone, that's good in my opinion, and Perseverance for the support class, and that gives you a walking speed boost and extra explosive resistance when you're actively using your repair wrench to repair a vehicle. Now, both of these are good additions, and they will benefit team play. Reciprocity directly encourages a medic to drop health so that they get health back, and the support player gets extra protection for keeping their powerful vehicles moving. These are good changes, but the other 5 that I mentioned above, they just don't have a place in Battlefield 1 in my opinion. They're automating team play and lowering the skill ceiling. Both things Battlefield 1 does not need at all. I do hope for this round of CTE changes that the team at DICE LA and at DICE Stockholm, they're listening to the community, because to my eyes, some of these specializations just don't follow the Battlefield formula, and they're giving far too much power to the casual playstyle. I agree Battlefield 1 is a casual game, but it has always had some inherent team play, squad play in there, and has been about skill. but I think most people can agree that Battlefield 1 has reduced that skill ceiling quite a lot, and a lot of that team play disappeared. And now these changes are coming in, and it just feels like those barriers are being lowered even further. And I think that's something that many people have fought against since Battlefield 1 launched. As I've said a couple of times in this video, it just feels like little thought has really gone into the consequences of what these new specializations will have on gameplay long term, and I feel they will be detrimental. But thank you very much for watching, and I'm sure plenty of you guys out there completely disagree with what I've said today, so it'd be great if you could leave your own thoughts down in the comments section. Let's give DICE as much feedback as we possibly can. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.